Yes, many people working in CSR, if you're doing things in rural India, you're working to empower people at the base of the pyramid. So in India, we're a public charitable trust, and our mission is to strengthen community-led development initiatives to achieve positive social, economic, and environmental change across India. And we envision every person empowered to lead a more secure and prosperous life. We basically are working on increasing agricultural productivity, managing water resources, both augmenting water and also managing wastewater, strengthening grassroots democracy, which is critically important to everything you're doing, whatever your CSR activity is. If you want it to be sustainable in rural India, you need to have people engaged and have the community behind the activity, otherwise it will fade very quickly. So as I say, good rural governance is the backbone of what we do. In order to have interventions in rural areas be effective, the people have to be behind it. It has to be their idea, and you are there to work in tandem with them to have a successful improvement of the community. Community media these days, of course, also includes sending out messages by mobile phones, both audio messages for people who can't read and SMSs for people who can. So we have, in this governance program, there are two sides. One side works with panchayats, village health, sanitation, and nutrition committees, and school management committees to help those institutions know what they're supposed to do. The other side works with individuals to let them know about legal rights and entitlements. Manrega, that was maligned a little while ago. Some people do get appropriate work through Manrega, and actually about a third of the Manrega workers in our area are women. So it gives them an opportunity to get into a daily wage situation. What the citizens see is when they're involved, public services improve because there's a spotlight on them. People know what questions to ask. They know what line department to go to make things right if they're not happening in the right way. So who are the communities living at the base of the pyramid? Basically people who lack sufficient income to cover bare necessities, and many live in areas where there's just no basic access to good services and opportunities. Where we are working in Mewat, it's very hard for women to move around. There's not local transport. So how do you get exposed to anything if you basically are just in your village without transport, without education? And we know that rural India is home to most of the people at the base of the pyramid. So empowering communities at the base of the pyramid, the community involvement in implementing CSR is really important. We have learned over the years. So if you go in and you have your IIT Delhi engineer and you build something and the community wasn't involved, they don't maintain it, they don't understand it. It's your thing that you built, and so then you should come back and fix it. So that's not the model you want. The model you want is the community is part of it, they own it. If it breaks, they have a plan. Maybe they've collected some funds to be able to maintain structures that are put in the community. Our Good Governance Now program teaches about Manrega, PDS, Integrated Child Development Services, midday meal, right to education, that whole laundry list of flagship programs where there is a huge amount of government money. The money should be tapped. People have to know about how those programs work in order to tap it. So by teaching local communities, they can leverage government schemes. They can monitor whether the programs are being properly run. So spending some CSR money on good governance brings real results. As many of you know, I'm sure you've studied Schedule 7. Many of the items listed are directly beneficial to rural India, eradicating hunger, the list that is on the screen here. It even specifies that rural development projects are appropriate for CSR. So this is a real invitation to corporate India to step up to the plate and help with Bharat. So my message to you is that we should look for shared goals of social equity and economic growth, that those of you working in CSR offices, it's a business strategy, as others have said. It's defining the corporate role in society. What's urgent we see when we go to rural India is the need to accelerate the pace of getting basic services, water, sanitation, education to rural India, and CSR is an opportunity for that. I see not only the bright eyes of rural residents who are involved in their own upliftment, but I see bright eyes in corporate employees when they get involved. So I think some of the corporate partners we have, they'll bring their management team and their wives to launch events because it's a real inspiration. Thanks very much.